We are going to create this dashboard UI using Angular Material. We also have this amazing grid of cards that we're going to be building. So let's get started. Hey guys, before we start our workshop, I would like to show you my brand new course on Angular 7 on Udemy. This course is designed for people who are actually trying hard to understand the core concept of Angular 7. Also, this course is like a membership. We'll have weekly or monthly updates. We're going to be building a lot of in this course. And this video that you're seeing is a workshop. It's coming from my Angular 7 course as well. So it comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like the course, you can ask for your money back within 30 days without question asked. So if you want to learn Angular 7 by understanding and doing practical, then join this course and you will never regret it. Look at the description of this video for a coupon which will give you a discount when you buy this course. Alright, let's get started with our workshop. Let's start by creating a new application. I'm going to go to terminal. I'm going to type ngg application and we are going to name an application dashboard. I'm going to type a routing flag, press enter, and it's going to generate an application for us. We take a look at apps and here we have a dashboard. We don't need this E2E testing, so I'm just going to delete this folder. And also I'm going to go to angular.json file and I'm going to click on this minus button and then I'm going to click on this minus button and I want to get rid of this dashboard -E2E key here. So let's save it. Now we shouldn't have any issues. I'm going to go down in a terminal. I'll tap ngserve. Now once our application gets started, we are going to take a look at what we have in our application. So I'm going to type localhost 4200. Here we have a dashboard. We're going to be creating a dashboard in this application, so we're going to require a few things. We're going to be using this Angular Material. We will have a separate section for Angular Material, how to use this library. But in this video, we are going to just quickly use, and I'm going to use the commands which can, build the dashboard very quickly. So the main goal for this to understand auth code and some more routing concept. So let's go to the app folder and here we have app module. Okay. And also app module is importing app routing module. So the difference here you see is we have a separate app routing module file which is responsible for all the routing that we do. So that's good. Now we are going to go and remove some of the code from app component.html file, and all I want to leave here is just a router outlet. Next I'm going to add another command on a terminal. So I'm just going to create another terminal by clicking on this button and I'm going to type ng add Angular Material. So let's just paste it here. So here we have a command, guys. We have a ng add Angular/material. All right, I'm going to press enter. Now this command is great. It's going to use Angular CLI and will add all the files which are required, and even it will set up our Angular Material with our application. So I'm just going to expand this so we can read this. So here it's asking me, hey, do you want to choose a pre-built theme? All right, I'll select like Indigo Pink, and it's asking me set up Hammer.js for gesture recognition. Yeah, no harm to do that. So set up a browser animation for Angular Material. Yes, let's add that as well. Now it's going to go and download a lot of packages for us and pay attention to app module.ts file. It's adding browser animation module from Angular/platform browser/animation, and also it's going to add some more dependency and install Angular Material. Now here we have Angular Material edit, but we need to inject this into our Angular application by adding that into app module. So what I want to do here is I'm going to copy and paste one of the file here, which basically is a material.module. Now this file is responsible of importing all the material components, so we don't have to add all these components on every module that we want to use material for. and also it export all these, components. Now I'm just going to close this file and I'm going to just import that file. So I'll type material module, okay, and that's been imported. Here you go. So here we have a material module right on the top. We're going to add a comma here. Now let's save the file. We're going to go to the browser and I'm going to go to app-component.html file. So to test that Angular material is being injected, we're going to go and let's find something that we can copy paste. So I'm going to just click on this button and I'm going to just copy this material card and let's paste that here. Let's save this file and we should see a card here. Now I'm going to stop the server by pressing Ctrl+C and I'm going to type ngserve again. Now this time it will detect this file and it will actually inject all the material related things for us. Okay, so let's take a look what we have here now. Alright, it looks like the card is there, guys. This is what we're using for Angular material. Let's get rid of this so we know Angular material is ready to go. Now after that we are going to generate some modules. I want to generate a module called auth. Alright, and also I would like to generate a module for navigation. So first of all, let's generate a module. So I'll type on CLI, I'll type ngg module and I'm going to name it auth --routing, and this will go inside our module /auth. Let's press enter. Now Angular CLI will create another folder called modules, and here you go, we have auth module there. Now that's all good. So before, in the last couple of videos, we've seen how we configured components as a route, but this video we're going to use a concept called lazy loading. So we can lazy load any module that we want. So I'm going to go inside this module and see how many routes do I have. All right, no routing. That's all good. So first of all, we're going to have to load this module from our route module. So basically root module, which is this app routing module here. So in this array, I would like to create an object. A path key, we'll leave that empty. And then we are going to use a load children. And then I'm going to type a URL for this module. So I'll do, that would be basically right clicking on this and clicking on copy relative path and pasting that here. So that would go into apps, dashboard, source, and app module TS. So you don't need to type TS here. Okay, now once you get to the file, you're gonna have to type hash, and then we go inside app module and see what's the name of this. So actually this is the name. I'm gonna copy this and we go back to our app module routing and paste that here. Now this is how you lazy load your module. So that's all good. Next we are going to create another path, which would be obviously a wildcard path, and then that will basically navigate us to let's just say a component, which is like, hey, page not found. So I'll do a component and I want to generate a component first. So I'll type ngg component on a terminal. I'll type page not found. Okay, I'll type a module would be equal to app module. Okay, so we're gonna have to copy this app modules, app module, press enter, and then it says, hey, I couldn't find app module. So probably that's lowercase. All right, still not finding it. So I'll just, type app. Yep, that's been created. So here we have a page not found. So I'll type page not found component. Okay, that's where it's gonna go if we don't have any path. So our application's looking good, guys. Now we have a one component, page not found, with a module auth. Now in the auth module, we are going to generate some component. But first, we're going to create another route here, which would basically act as our navigation route. And we'll name that as path. And then we type home as a key. Now here it's causing some indentation issue. I'm just going to push it forward, guys. And now we are going to use load children. And again, we are going to pass in that navigation module. But first we need that. So I'm going to go to terminal. Let's clear it out. ngg module. And I'm going to type modules / navigation. Okay. And then / we type navigation module would be all right. So yep, module navigation. Let's press enter. We should have added a routing for that as well. So let's take a look. Yep, we didn't add a routing. So I'm just gonna delete this file, and we are going to type a routing as well. Oops, typo, guys. That's another issue. Sorry, it's just a workshop, so I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing here. So routing. All right, now we should have a navigation module as well. There we go. Now here we're just gonna right click, copy relative path, and then paste that here. Now once you get to the file, you're gonna type hash, and you're gonna go and find the name for that module. So this is a class name. Then we go back and we are going to go to app routing, and we're going to paste that here. Cool. So right now, if we go to home, then it will go to the navigation module. If we go to the empty, it will go to the auth module. That's cool. So let's test our application. I'm going to go to this, and that's going to go to auth module. But the problem is, if I just type blah, it should go to page not found work. So here you go. This is what's happening. So let's get rid of this. And now we're going to have to add something into our, auth module. So I'm going to create some components for our auth module. So I'll type ngg component. All right. And that would be, let's just say, login component. Yep. And then that will go inside our /modules /auth /components /login, and its module would be equal to auth. Press enter, and there we go. So typing that command, it created a component folder in our auth module, and we have a login component. So now we have configured that. I'm going to go to auth routing module, and here I'm going to add some routing for it. So now we're going to have a routing. So let's do an object. That would be a path. If nothing's defined, then we're going to take this to a landing page. So let's type and comma, and we are going to actually use the component. I'm going to type login component. Okay, and we're going to have another component. So let's press up key, and I'm going to create a register component. Press enter. Okay, now we're going to have to make a copy of this, and we're going to type login here and register here. So let's add a comma, guys, comma here as well. Now this component would be, our register component. So let's type register component. And now as you can see, we are adding those components right on top. We're adding this, importing this login component. Now this is going to be a landing component. So I'm going to create another component here, which would be, let's just say, landing. Now our module should have called a core module instead of auth module. Okay, but anyway, it's working. So here for this, I'm gonna create landing component, and we're gonna need another path here, which is going to be like a wild. So let's just do double strike, and again this is gonna go to outer page not found component. Let's save it. Now it's going to cause an issue. It's saying basically this belongs to a main app module. It's not going to work. So to solve this issue, we can do something else. So if there is no route in auth, then could you please redirect to, there's a key called redirect to, and that would just go to the home page. Okay, that will just go to login, and I'm gonna do another key, path match. The key is path match, and that would be full. Okay, that's all good now. Now if I go here, it says landing works. That's cool. Now if I change the route to login, it says login works. Okay, cool. If I say, well, register, it says register works. Okay, so if I don't define anything, it should go to landing works. But if I define something wrong here, it should go to login works, because here we're redirecting to. All right, guys, this is configured. Our auth module is configured. Now we're going to talk about navigation. So navigation requires some components as well. When I clear this out, I'm going to create another component, and this time we are going to create a component of, let's just say, navigation component. Okay, and that would go into components folder as well, and then I'm going to type navigation. All right, so that's going to be navigation module. Inside the navigation folder, we're going to create another components folder, and then nav. Let's just change this word to nav, and the module is going to be navigation. Okay, let's press enter. Cool. Now we got our component navigation. Let's configure a routing module. So here for the navigation, because we get here when we hit this home path. Okay, so we are going to configure this now. Here I'm going to create an object path, and that would be empty, and that goes to component navigation component. Okay, it's not actually finding it. So let me find what's going on here. So it's a nav component. So I'll type nav component. All right, let's save this and go and have a look what we have in the browser. So I'm just going to change this to home, enter, and it should take us to nav component. Well, it didn't. There's something wrong with it. So I'm gonna have to type /home and press enter. That's when again it goes to login works. So it's not trying to match anything here. So if we go to app routing module, here we have home. That's good. So in home, we are going to go to navigation module, which is all right. And then navigation module will have something like this. Route, path is empty. Go to nav component. Well, it seems all right to me. Let's go and restart our application. I'm actually gonna close this. One is good enough for me. Okay, so to ng-serve, let's see our nav component works. Now if our nav component work, I'm going to use Angular semantics to generate another nav component for me. I'm going to show you a command which is very helpful to generate some of the UI. So I'm going to type home. No, it's still going to log in. No, doesn't work. So there's something wrong with our app routing module. So if I just type here, for example, empty, and I'm just gonna comment this out. Let's save. And now it says, yep, now works. So there was a problem that we were facing because it was, when you define a path, it should go right on the top. So when the router comes in, it looks for, oh, it's nothing there. Then it's just straight away, just goes to this one. That's the problem. So I'm gonna just, move this line a bit down. Okay. And that should fix the problem. So auth module will go down. Let me bring everything back. Okay, so we're gonna type here home. Let's type home here, and then we go to /home. Then we have a nav works. Now our navigation works. So I'm gonna get rid of this component actually. Let's get rid of it. It's gonna break our application. Now I'm gonna use Angular semantics, and I'm gonna go and generate a component which will help us to automatically get our navigation up and running. So let's get started with that. I'm gonna find, this is the command. I'm going to stop the terminal. Let's clear it out, paste that, and I'm going to type here nav, but we need to define the path, guys. So I'll type modules / it's gonna go into navigation / components, and then that would be nav. Press enter. Okay, cool. So we have a nav component. Yep, that's all good. Let's save it, and I'm going to run our application ng serve, and let's see if we are able to get to this navigation component now and how it looks like. We're going to close some of the files because it's getting a bit complicated here to view. I'm going to open nav-component.ts file, and here we're going to see what we have in HTML. Let's save it, and if we press enter here, there we go. How cool is this, guys? Now we have a responsive menu bar. That's nice, yeah. So here we have a links. Yep, we can define some other components. Now some of you might be wondering that where this code comes from. If you look at Angular material semantic documentation, it clearly says it offers some component semantics, which basically I use this navigation. So it says create a component with a responsive material design side nav and a toolbar for showing the app name. Now how do we use this? So we go all the way down, and I find this navigation right on top here. So I type this command with my component name, and it generated my component for navigation. And all I did in navigation routing module, I linked that to this path. That's all. I would like to add some more components here. So we'll go back to navigation semantic documentation, guys, and I'm going to generate this dashboard semantic. So I'm just going to copy this line of code. We go back, stop our server. I'm going to paste that, and here for the component name, I'll type /modules /navigation /components /dashboard. Press enter. And then there you go. We have another component called dashboard, and we're going to configure that one here. So I'm just going to copy this line, and we'll just add a comma here, and I'm going to type here dashboard, and that would be dashboard component. Let's save this, and then we also want to go to navigation component HTML file, and here we'd like to use this router link now. So I'll type router link here equal to /home/dashboard. Okay, so I'm gonna add a couple more here. While we're here, we can just add these. I'm gonna change the name to table and drag drop. Okay, let's save this, and here we change the text name as well, guys. Dashboard, we have this as table, and here we type drag and drop. Let's save the file, and now we're going to create another two components. So I'm just going to go to semantics documentation, and I'm going to go and copy this ng-generate. Okay, let's go back, paste it here. Again, similarly, we're going to have to define modules / navigation / components / that would be table. Press enter, and you should be able to see that. All right, so this is going to go into table, and then we need another one called drag and drop. So let me find that one, guys. Yep, that's drag and drop. So that's the one, last one, guys. So we'll just paste it here, and I'm just going to go up, change this to drag drop, and I'm going to press enter now. Alright, so we have drag drop dashboard, and we should have a table component somewhere as well. Alright, we do have that. Now we're going to go to routing module, and we got a dashboard there, guys. I'm going to make a copy here. We change this to table, and let's change that to table component. This one is going to be drag drop, and that would be drag drop component as well. Let's add a comma here, add a comma here, and that should solve the problem now. Okay, let's go and have a look over application. I'm going to clear the terminal, type ng-serve, and just wait for this to be compiled, and we'll see our application up and running. So just by typing some commands using this Angular semantics, we were able to create a full-fledged dashboard which can be used in even enterprise level application. I'm going to refresh, and here we have a dashboard, and there you go. It takes me to the dashboard component. I go to table, it takes me to the table component. Drag and drop is there as well. So the problem with that is we have to change days. I think we got to go to routing, and there's something wrong here. So I click on table, it goes to drag and drop component. That should not be happening. So what I want to do is we want to make sure that router link home table, and if we could look at here, it is table, and that's a table component. Let's save it. For some reason the component is a bit different here, guys. It's got that. Now here we have a dashboard. So if I click on a dashboard, it actually goes and open this dashboard card component. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I open this here. So because we're using this as a child component, so I can add a router link here. So that would be a content here, guys, side nav content. I'm going to add a router link here, router outlet. Let's save it. We're gonna get rid of this sign. Now if I click on dashboard, it's still going there, not doing what it's supposed to do. So for the navigation, we're gonna go and do some changes here. We're gonna make these as a child route of this. That will solve the problem. So I'm gonna go add a comma, and then I'm gonna write children key, and we're gonna just paste these inside. Okay, let's save this now and let's take a look. So now we got to dashboard component. Click on table, drag and drop, table, drag and drop. Now the table got some issues, so I'm gonna go and get rid of the table component. Okay, I'm gonna just get rid of it. So the reason why I deleted that is maybe we had the wrong semantic generated. So I'm gonna go back to this table and I'm gonna copy this. Okay, or maybe we can use tree. I would like to use this one, guys. That's actually address, so we know that's different. That's like a form there. So I'm gonna just paste that, and I'm going to type modules / navigation / components / address. Let's add it. All right, so we have a address. Yep, that's good. I'm gonna make sure that it's something different. Okay, that's cool. That's like a form generated by Angular semantics. So I'm going to go to navigation routing module, and I'm going to change this, which is basically table component. We're going to get rid of that line of code, and here I'm going to change that to address component, and here would be address. Let's save this. We go to nav all the way up, and here we're going to change this to, what was that? That's address. Let's copy this, and I'm just gonna paste this here. Let's go to our terminal. Let's type ngserve, and let's see if we are able to get that done. Our application is, another issue is saying, hey, I cannot find a module table component. Now in our navigation module, it actually added this table component, which was like, now causing an error. Let's get rid of that as well. Let's save it. And now we shouldn't see any error. Now this is an error because we actually, adding this math toolbar, math button, stuff like that in this, and also in the, app module. Okay, so we have this table. That's actually not a table, shouldn't be a table. That's dashboard, that's drag and drop, that's table. Okay, still got some issues with tables. Oh yeah, nope, that's fine. We go to nav, and I'm gonna change this to address. Alright, so this is our full-fledged dashboard generated from Angular semantics. We have a dashboard, we have a drag and drop, we have this dashboard. Now the cool thing is you can even configure this dashboard the way you want. So I want to show you. I'm going to take you to dashboard.ts file, and here I would like to use, let's just say, one column and one row. For this I would like to use 2 columns and 1 row. That would be, let's just say, 2 column. Okay, or maybe we can do something more crazy here. So I'm going to save this file. You see the dashboard will change. So here we are 1 column, and we're using 2 columns here. That's like a 2 row, and we got 1 column here. So you can see you can configure this. I want to go to dashboard.html file, and I want to define 4 columns instead of 2 here. Let's save that. We go back, and now we can see we have 1 column, 2 column, and then 1 column. So here we have a grid system, a full-fledged grid system that we can use to define. So I would like to have a 4 column, and then this 2 column, and then another 4 1. Let's save it, and see what happens. So here we have a full-fledged column with 4 columns, which we define in a HTML file here. So we're saying here basically there are 4 columns available in dashboard component, and here we're defining what you're supposed to use. So the last one is causing this issue because it's going all the way down. So I would like to change this to 1 row as well. And then we have this full card, 2 cards, and then 1 card. And as you can see, it's full responsive, guys. As you can see, you don't have to worry about any kind of responses. If you go all the way right, you even get this thing. You even get this button which can toggle on your address bar or toggle off. So I would highly recommend go play with this Angular schematics. It gives you lots and lots of things ready to go, and you can use this to be able to create a full-fledged dashboard in minutes. So that was a walkthrough, a complete natural walkthrough of creating this dashboard. Okay, so we created a child routes, okay, and then we have these schematics running. Now one last thing we want to do here before we go, I would like to go to landing page, and I would like to go to landing page here as well, and I want to add 2 buttons. So let's do material button. So I'm going to go here, components, and I'm going to find a button from here. That's the button there. I would like to grab this button, and I want to paste that here, another one, and I would like to say login, register, okay, and then we add a router. I'll say login, and the second one will take router link is equal to register. Let's save this, and now if you want to go to login component, it goes login, and if you want to go register, it goes to register. We're gonna need another button here, guys, so let me just copy this and we'll say home, save it, and we'll go out. When I click on home, that takes me to this dashboard. Well, I don't want any user or anyone to just go to the dashboard. People have to log in or register to my web application before they can reach the dashboard, right? So we're gonna have to block users somehow to get to this. So we're gonna navigate to the login, and then from there they have to log into their account, and then we're gonna redirect that to this dashboard. So we'll do remove this home button first from our landing HTML. So I'm just going to get rid of this. Let's save this file, and we shouldn't see that button anymore. Let's go to app routing module. Here we would like to block this home, and we want to add a validation here. Anybody can go to home with some validation. So to do that, we can use Angular guards. I'm going to go to the terminal, stop the server, let's clear the terminal, and I'm going to type ngg guard guard, and I'm going to name this auth. When I press enter, it gives me some options. So it says, which interface would you like to implement? Press space to select, A to toggle all, I to invert selection. So I'll press spacebar and I will select can activate. Press enter, and you will see 2 files getting generated, auth guard. Now here it automatically implemented this interface can activate, which will help us to write a function, and within the function we can return true or false. So if this function returns true, that route will be able to activate. If this returns false, it will not be able to activate. So here is the right place to write your logic about your token authentication. For example, you went to log into your app, then you receive the token, then you store that into your local storage, and this is where you check if the token still exists, and that verifies with your server, then you turn true. If not, then return false. So if I say let it return true, then how do I inject this can activate or auth guard into our app routing module? So we'll go to app routing module, and here I would like to use another key, which is can activate. That's an array, and that will take a class or guard name, which is auth guard right now. All right, I'm going to add a comma here. Let's save it. Now, when I run my application by typing ng serve on a terminal, I should be able to see the app, but I should not be able to go to home page unless this returns true. So let's wait for it. So we got this, and if I type here /home, as you can see, I can get to this dashboard page because this is returning true. Now we haven't routed any logic, but I'll change this to false. Now I'm gonna just refresh. I'm gonna try going to /home, and it's gonna return to the route. It's gonna return to the main route. Okay, so as you can see, it is not actually activating this because auth guard is stopping this route to be activated. So this is how you can create auth guard, guys. Okay, so we've covered a lot in this video. We actually created a complete dashboard. Let me just make it true, and let's go to home. Now we've created this full-fledged dashboard with this menu bar. We learned how to use Angular material, and we generated these components. These were automatically generated by Angular semantics. So yeah, this has been a great video. We've seen how we can create routing, also child routing. We know how to apply auth guards now. So it was a complete walkthrough of this. Now you can continue and improving this dashboard and come up with a complete enterprise level application.